if you've been around low price stocks, you've heard pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump. It's a term you've heard over and over again. Now, these create great trading opportunities, but today I'm going to talk about how to trade a pump and dump and not get duped. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Love to see you here. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends. We're doing a ton of stuff here. How-tos, lives, podcasts, ton of great stuff. Share with your friends, ring that bell. Like I said, I go live at least once a day. Sometimes I go live twice a day. You'll get notified instantly. You can jump on. And, literally this morning we were talking about OPTI. It's funny, just a little bit of inside baseball or how the sausage gets made. Our producer said, "Hey, Tim, I need a YouTube video out of you today. Why don't you do one on pump and dumps?" And I was like, man, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, because OPTI, they don't get much better as a pump and dump. I mean, I'm going to talk about things on this stock that are, almost make it a perfect pump and dump from both sides. Number one, as a potential trade opportunity. And the other thing, the second part of this video is we're talking about how not to get duped, okay? So yes, you can buy these. Yes, you can trade them. But at the same time, I want to talk about a lot of red flags and indicators so that you don't get trapped in this thing. Because, I mean, listen, this thing went from 3 cents to 6 cents at the market open. I'm sure a lot of people were true believers. And look at it. It just went right on the day. So it's bad. If you don't know what to look for, you got to be skeptical, and you got to know these are just trades, not long-term investments. Okay. That being said, this is going to be a 7 to 10 minute video. I'm going to give you as much as I can in this time, but check out the Steady Trade team every single morning. I'm in chat at 6 a.m. Okay. Starting at 6. I'm there all day. I go live twice a day. For 45 minutes, we break down everything. The Steady Trade team is the best way to really get in details. Now, listen, I love these videos. There's only so much depth I can get into in a 7 to 10 minute video. Okay, look, let's talk about what is a pump and dump. Let's get started. So, what you're talking about when it's a pump and dump is you've got a struggling company, a company that needs money. Remember, every OTC stock, every pink sheet stock, they're basically trading. The only reason they're trading is so that they can sell stock. They can dilute, they can dupe people, as they say as we said in the title of this video, into buying their stock so they can sell. So the insiders can sell, whether that be an executive or an investor or like the CEO's father-in-law or something. Okay. These companies are simply made to sell stock. And crush dreams too. That really is. That's what pretty much every OTC pink sheet stock is put on earth to do, is to sell stock and crush dreams. So anyway, that being said, they would do the same thing over and over again. And you'll see that on OPTI, the stock we're talking about today. This thing has spiked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times just this summer. Okay. Now, you'll also notice every time it spiked, it's failed. That's what OTCs do. That's what pink sheets do. That's why you never believe and you don't get your hopes crushed, your dreams destroyed. But you can also see, especially in August, hey, this thing ran from a penny to 18 cents. Do the math. That's a nice move. Now, if you know how to trade them, you can capitalize on them. But that's what a pump and dump is. A company that's desperate for cash, desperate to make something happen. And one of the great things about stocks to trade is we have all these tools. You can see in one click that, these guys used to, so they're rated for having one employee, always a red flag. They used to be in the auto accessories business, and they made a mileage chip, which, listen, this may date me a little bit, but this was, if you're a car guy, or if you've been around like in the 80s and 90s, these mileage chips, total scam. None of them ever work. If they do work, you might get like a half of a mile per gallon better. Maybe. You're probably better off not to get too in the weeds on automotive, you're probably better off buying some new tires and getting a tune-up and making sure your alignment's good. And you'll probably get way more than one of these chips will ever get you. So anyway, they've now pivoted into PPE, coronavirus PPE. So these are the things we're looking for. Sketchy company, history of pivoting to other sectors. You see this a lot. They'll pivot to weed. They'll pivot to crypto. They'll pivot here. They'll pivot here because they're desperate. They're desperate to get the stock price up. How do you do that? You say, hey, we're in PPE. We've got this UV light device. So they issued a press release this morning, some sort of UV light device for, killing coronavirus. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you do, OPTI. But what we love about this is 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. press release. So that's part of the recipe too. Keep track of these things I'm going over. We love it when they issue a 9 a.m. press release because that brings in the FOMO, that brings in the early buyers. Everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for the open. I can't wait to buy this. They've got there's a press release. It just came out. We all know most OTC traders. We all know most penny stock traders sleeping. They're all hungover. They're all, sleeping in mom's basement. Mom forgets to wake them up for the market open. They're made for the FOMO, okay? This is the great thing that you can do. And so they issue the 9 a.m. press release in the hot sector to build up the hype. Then stock runs up. They sell into it. It slams down. Now, a couple things I do want you to look for. It's a pump and dump because of the data you have in stocks to trade. You can see that their sales for the entire year, last year, $90,000 in sales. Okay, it's not profits. $90,000 in sales. This is a publicly traded company. Okay, I know. I mean, I know people on Etsy that or on eBay that have $90,000 in sales. Okay, out of their house. Okay, so not good. Losing money like crazy. And here's the great indicator. Look at that. $9,241 in the bank. Okay? Now, if you're a young person, if you're single, you might be happy to have 10 grand in your checking account. But if you're a publicly traded company that's supposed to be making PPE, technology, etc., and you got $9,000 in cash, good luck, my friends, because you're going to need it. They lost $300,000, $281,000 on $90,000 in sales. I mean, listen, we're not here to get into accounting. I'm not here to teach you how to be a CPA, but I think you all know $90,000 in sales, lost $300. You lost 3 times more than you even sold, and you got $9 grand in the checking account. There's a good reason, or there's a good chance they're going to pump this stock. Okay, that's what it is. I broke it down. How do you trade them? This is what you always everyone wants to know. What do you do? How do you trade these? Well, as always, cash is a position. As always, not trading them is a valid action. Okay? I know I'm not known for being one of these, big time OTC guys because I see these types of moves over and over again. So remember, you don't have to trade them. You don't have to believe the hype. And if you stay out of trouble, hey, not losing $1,000. I always say a break-even day is way better than $1,000 red day or worse. Okay, cash is a position. All right, now I know y'all want. Tim, we want to know, how do we trade these carcasses? Okay, so here it is. I'll break it down for you. Number one, what you're looking for is exactly what happened yesterday. Notice this high volume run up into the close. You can find that with the screeners built into stocks to trade. You can scan for OTCs with that volume boost. Excuse me, I've got what's called a volume boost scan. And you can see, this thing was kind of just doing nothing. And then you get that. And actually, let me jump to a 30-minute chart. So all of a sudden, those last 2 candles of the day, you've got 32 million shares, right? Am I doing? Yeah, 32 million shares last half hour of the day. And then the previous was 11 or 20 million. So you got 50 million shares that trade the last hour of the day on no news on a stock that had been doing absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden 50 million shares traded into the close. That would show up on your scanner. So now this would be on your radar the day before, okay? You're thinking, okay, something's coming on OPTI. We know it's a former runner. We got the volume spike. We've seen it run in the past. Something is brewing here. Then, I know I joked about the FOMO, guys, but you're just waiting for that press release. And then the best way to trade this, and it pains me to say this, because I think this is not necessarily the best way to trade, but when you see that volume spike, you know it's a pump. The PR at 9 a.m. confirms it's a pump. You've done all your due diligence. Fundamentals are terrible. You know, they pivoted to the hot sector. All these things I talked about. You just hammered it at the open. I mean, and here's the thing. If you would have hammered OPTI at the open at 44.5 cents, it almost doubled. Or I'm sorry, 50% spike. So didn't double, but spiked 50% from 4.5 cents to 6.5. And I was going from the closing price, but it gapped up. So when I said it doubled, it did double from the closing price last night, but it also gapped up. So you wouldn't have been able to get a fill. But if you would have hammered it at the open, maybe you make 20, 30, 40, 50%. And I will say this. Normally, these continue higher. I mean, when you got that kind of volume, the hot sector, normally, I went on the webinar this morning, I said, I bet you OPTI goes to 10 cents. So it is a failed pump and dump, but that's how you trade them. You know, look for that type of move. And here's the last thing. When they reverse, you move on. You cannot, I'll close the loop on this video. You cannot believe in these things. Okay, you cannot. You get that big red candle, you got to scream to the exits. Don't get duped. You did your due diligence, right? You saw the cash. You saw the pivot. You saw the joke of a PR. You saw it all. Don't make the cardinal mistake that I see so many penny stock traders make. They do their due diligence. It turns on them. They're bag holding, and now they become a believer. Okay? OPTI will fail again and again and again. But when you got the volume boost into the close, the breakout, the PR, all these components, you can make it quick 20, 30, 40, 50%. A lot of days. I mean, if you were perfect, maybe you would have made 50% on this. Not bad for a day's work. So, all right, everyone. Have a great day. And like I said, I tried to pack as much information in this as possible, but it's tough. There's so many intricate things. I've got my notes over here in Evernote. I left off like 4 bullets, but this video is too long for your short attention spans on YouTube. So definitely check out the Steady Trade team. Would love to work with you in twice daily webinars. And again, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.